Percentages and pie charts. So looking at how percentages can help us make sense of a pie chart. Okay, so the pie chart below, this guy, shows how the annual budget for a company is divided by department. If the total annual budget is $20 million, answer the following questions using the said pie chart. This guy. So our first question is, how much money is 100% of the pie chart? Well, 100% is going to be the total, in this case, the total annual budget. And the total annual budget is $20 million. So for this one, we didn't even really need to find a percentage because the problem gave it to us. Same context, different question. We want to know what amount of money is budgeted for marketing. So we need to go over to our pie chart. That's media. Where's marketing? Marketing is 39% of the budget. So we need to figure out what 39% of the budget is in order to figure out how much money we're going to be spending, or whatever company this is going to be spending. So we need 39% times our budget, which is that $20 million. So first, let's convert this 39% to a fraction. That's a little bit easier for this problem. So we have 39 over 100. And then we're multiplying by $20 million, which we'll write over 1. And then, since we have some fractions here, let's simplify a little bit. If we divide 100 by 100, we're left with 1. And if we divide 20 million by 100, we're going to move 2 decimal places over. Sometimes we show this by just crossing out the same number of zeros between a numerator and a denominator. So now we have 39 times 200,000. And what I like to do when I'm multiplying two numbers where one of them has a bunch of zeros is I just first look at the numbers without the zeros. So 39 times 2. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 3 plus 1 is 6 plus 1, which is 7. So I have 7, 8, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So that's $7,800,000 budgeted for marketing. Now we want to know what amount of money is budgeted for editorial and support. So that means we need to add the amount of money budgeted for the editorial to the amount of money budgeted for the support. So 7% is budgeted for the editorial, and 10% is budgeted for the support. 7% plus 10% gives us 17% for these combined. So we need to find 17% of the budget. So that'll be 17%. Where'd my D go? Times $20 million. So let's convert that 17% to a fraction. So that'll be 17 over 100. And we'll multiply that by the $20 million. which we'll place over 1 since we're multiplying fractions. Let's divide out some of these powers of 10. So we'll cross out the same number of zeros in the numerator and the denominator until one of them has run out of zeros. And now we need to do 17 times 200,000, which is a little difficult to tell with where a decimal, or sorry, with where our commas are. But let's ignore those zeros for now and find out what 17 times 2 is. So 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So we have 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So that is $3,400,000 for both editorial and support in that company's budget. Next up, we need to find what amount of money is budgeted for sales, media, and research. So that means we need to add the amount of money for each of these together. So we have sales, media, and research. So that's 21% of the budget, plus 12% of the budget, plus 11% of the budget. 21 plus 12 gives us 33, plus 11 is 44%. So we need to figure out what 44% of the budget is. So we need to multiply 44% times our budget amount, which is that 20 million. But let's convert that 44% to a fraction. So we have 44 over 100, and multiply that by our 20 million, which we'll write as a fraction over 1. Just like in the other examples, first we'll divide out our powers of 10 by crossing out the same number of zeros in our numerator and denominator until we've run out of zeros. And then we have 44 times 2, which we can do off to the side if you need to. So we have 44 times 2. 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 4 again is 8. So we have 8, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is $8,800,000 together for sales, media, and research. Last but not least, we want to find out what amount of money is budgeted for everything but media. There's a couple different ways to do this. My recommendation is we think of it as this is everything but media, and this is what we want. So we want 100%. This everything is 100%. But we do not want to include media, which is 21%. So we're taking all of our pie chart, and then we're removing this 21% from it. 100 minus 21 is equal to 79%. So we need to find 79% of our budget. So that'll be 79%, which I'll write as a fraction, which is 79 over 100, times our budget of $20 million, over 1, since we're multiplying these fractions. We will have 2 of our 10s divide out, so we can cross out 2 zeros in the numerator and 2 zeros in the denominator. And then we need to multiply 79 times 200,000. Let's start by worrying about that 79 times 2. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15. So we have 158, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So that is $15,800,000 for everything but the media.